Conor Benn will tell everyone that I'm old and washed up and
He has to retire. I don't understand why at this stage of his career he chooses to fight a welterweight over a world title. I can drop back down and go get my world title. No problem. I'll go and fight for the WBC world title, the WBA, the WBO. I think I'm top ranked, top 5 in almost every governing body. But as for him, he's chasing one thing, and that's the difference between me and him.
Father wants me to retire. He doesn't want me to continue on in...
I am retiring, Chris Eubank Jr., saying retirement is on the card shows this loss to Conor Benn has changed everything for him. He feels his career is over now and wants to step away from boxing to spend time with his twins.
You know, I've heard people, including my father, say that retirement is on the cards. You know, I should sail off into the sunset.
Chris Eubank Jr. being described as in a retirement stage shows just how much this loss to Conor Benn affected him. Denzel Bentley mentioning retirement money highlights that Chris is now thinking about stepping away from boxing and focusing on life beyond the ring.
You know, I'm tired of talking about Chris Eubank Jr. He's in a retirement stage of his career. He's trying to get some retirement money. Thank you. He's trying to get some retirement money, and I'm not.
Nigel Benn saying, "We don't want that no more," shows just how final things feel after Chris Eubank Jr.'s loss to Conor Benn. It's clear the family and supporters see this chapter as over and are ready to move on from boxing. Chris's defeat has left a mark not only on him, but also on those around him, and it emphasizes that his time in the sport is likely coming to a close as he considers life after the ring.
No, we don't want that no more, mate. It's over with, done, finish. I hope I don't.
Derek Chisora questioning if Chris Eubank Jr. should retire highlights the uncertainty around his future after losing to Conor Benn. The mention of enjoying his twins shows that Chris is shifting priorities toward family. Even with retirement being discussed, there is still some hope for him to enjoy life outside the ring and reflect on his career while spending more time with those who matter most.
What do you think's next for Chris?
I can enjoy his twins and...
Should he retire? Should he retire, Derek?
No.
No?
Conor Benn, making it clear he does not want sympathy, shows his focus and determination even after such a huge win over Chris Eubank Jr. He is proud of his performance and wants to be recognized for his effort and skill in the ring. Conor's confidence contrasts with Chris's talk of retirement and highlights the mental edge and drive that helped him secure a decisive victory.
I do not want that, no sympathy from nobody at all. I don't care about.
Dominic Ingle calling Conor Benn's win a masterstroke and a heist shows the scale of the victory over Chris Eubank Jr. The mention of the huge purse emphasizes how significant this fight was and how Conor's performance overshadowed the legends before him. It highlights both the financial and career impact while showing the gulf between Conor's current level and the faded ability of his opponents, marking a defining moment for the young British star.
For masterstroke, it's a heist. You know what I mean? It's a heist. Reportedly, the purse was 18 million split, I think. And well, you think that's probably more than both the fathers earned. And they were tremendous fighters. These two aren't a patch on them.
Conor Benn talking about poor communication highlights how important teamwork and discipline are in boxing. He subtly points to Chris Eubank Jr.'s camp as part of the reason things went wrong. This shows that while skill in the ring matters, the support system behind a fighter can determine success or failure, and Conor's sharp awareness of this gives him a clear edge in professional boxing.
The thing is when you mess around and you have lack of communication and a team that don't have good communication, this is what happens.
Manager Napper insisting Chris Eubank Jr. is not retiring shows that there is still some hope and belief in his career. Even after losing to Conor Benn, the team sees him at a crucial stage where comebacks are possible. It highlights the contrast between public talk of retirement and the inner belief that he can still perform, proving that while setbacks happen, the fight game is full of unexpected turns and opportunities for redemption.
Clarity, Napper, we can't get hold of Chris, so can you tell us, is Chris Eubank Jr. about to retire?
Yes, come on, bro. Eubank's not retiring. He, this is the hot stage of his career right now. He's at,
Chris Eubank Sr.'s frantic shouting in the last round shows the passion and emotion he felt watching Conor Benn dominate his son. It highlights the chaos in Chris Eubank Jr.'s corner and the desperation to turn the fight around. His reaction demonstrates the intense pressure of a family legacy in boxing and the heartbreak of seeing your own son struggle against a younger, sharper fighter. Even with all his guidance, the elder Eubank's efforts could not change the outcome, and it underlines just how dominant Conor Benn was in that fight.
Last round, I was shouting, Rastafari, lick him up, Rastaf, lick him up, lick him, no, I got into the feeling.
Eddie Hearn, just stunned by Conor Benn's performance, shows how complete the victory was. Every round counted, and Conor handled himself brilliantly, moving up to middleweight. Hearn's words capture the precision and discipline Benn showed, controlling his emotions while punishing Chris Eubank Jr.'s body and showing that he is ready to be a true British star. The win was not just about revenge, it was about proving Benn's maturity and skill at a higher weight class and establishing his dominance in the ring while silencing doubts about his readiness for the big stage.
Schooling, really. He won every round, dropped it. I mean, 10 more seconds, the fight's over. Different kind of fight, obviously, to the first fight, but needed to be. Needed to box smart and not use his emotions in there. I thought he boxed really well, busted him up to the body, and yeah, massive win for a welterweight to come up to middleweight and avenge that defeat and finally get a victory for the Benn family in the 4th episode.
35 years in the making.
Yeah,
no need for a trilogy, no?
No, we want to move back there. Conor's the new star of British boxing, you know what I mean? Look, he's filled Tottenham twice, and you know, he needed to be a bit smarter there. You know how exciting he is, but he just needed every round. I was just saying to him, just concentrate, please. Just.
Liam Goff, pointing out the weight and condition issues, shows how Chris Eubank Jr. was far from at his best. Even with advantages in the first fight, the drained state made it almost impossible to compete with Conor Benn. The comments make it clear that Benn faced a prepared opponent and still dominated, which proves the quality and precision of his performance. It highlights that even a slightly compromised fighter like Eubank Jr. could not withstand the tactical brilliance, power, and consistency Conor brought to the ring in this high-stakes rematch.
He shouldn't, because 1, it's a non-title fight. 2, the IBF have a check weight, yes, but it's actually more than this check weight is, which is 12 pounds for the IBF. This was only 10 pounds. So for me, and again, non-title, so none of this should have really happened. And I said that if it goes ahead again with the same stipulations, Eubank looked terrible first time, he'll probably look even worse the second time. And if he wins, okay, you have to win with one hand tied behind the back. But if you lose, you can't really go and turn around and say, look what I've done, it's amazing. Well, not really. I mean, you fought a guy who's badly drained. So that was what I was thinking going into this fight. Now,
Chris Eubank Jr. showing respect to Conor Benn demonstrates the sportsmanship after such a tough loss. Acknowledging Benn's great performance and saying he tried his best highlights the harsh reality of the fight and the dominance Benn displayed. It also gives insight into Eubank Jr.'s mindset as he admits defeat gracefully while recognizing Benn's skill and preparation. Even after losing, he maintains professionalism, but it's clear the loss has affected him deeply as he comes to terms with Conor's superiority in the ring.
Regardless of, you know, the dangers and the risk, you know, we go to war. That's what we do. I tried my best. Conor Benn put on a hell of a fight. He had a great performance. He did everything that was asked of him, and I congratulate him for his performance tonight. He did what he needed to do to win. He fought a great fight, and I'm not here to talk about.
Johnny Nelson breaking down the fight explains perfectly why Conor Benn dominated. Chris Eubank Jr. depleted his own advantages and could not handle the relentless pace. The comparison to a pendulum shows the constant pressure Benn applied, forcing mistakes. Nelson highlights that Benn's strategy was flawless and his control of the fight left Eubank Jr. with no openings. This commentary shows that skill, preparation, and timing made all the difference, and that Conor's tactical execution allowed him to snatch the victory decisively in a rematch that left no doubt about who was superior.
They're both going, it's like a pendulum. Conor knew what he could do, didn't think, I'm not sure what I can get away with from the last fight. For Chris, the pendulum is, which rinsed himself down that much, he's thinking he can do it again. As I said, anybody can get down to the weight, it's what you can do with the weight. Boxing's the worst place to be if you aren't going to put yourself at a disadvantage, because it's the only place you can legally get killed. And so what Chris did was, Chris depleted any advantage he had in the first fight. And again, in this fight here, what did he expect? Conor just had to put him under pressure, keep up the pace. He took the pace, made him work constantly. And when you make him work constantly, that's how he snatched it.
Derek Chisora makes it clear that Conor Benn's victory was inevitable and almost destined. The way he says it was all written for Benn shows how perfectly everything aligned in his favor. Benn's timing, focus, and determination made the fight unfold exactly as it should. Even Chris Eubank Jr.'s experience could not alter the outcome as Benn executed flawlessly. Chisora's reaction captures the inevitability and dominance of Benn and underscores that his victory was not just skill, but also about controlling the moment and capitalizing on every opportunity, while Eubank Jr. struggled under relentless pressure.
I think it was all written for Conor to win it.
Yeah.
I need a photo.
It was Conor. He was there for Conor to win it. He won it. He dropped him in the last round. You know, I kept on saying, Chris. And then I saw them, and I said, Conor's got it.
Dave Allen acknowledges the brilliance of Conor Benn and admits that even beating a faded Eubank Jr. required dominance and skill. Allen points out that Benn proved himself even against imperfect conditions and still executed a flawless performance. The analysis shows that Benn's ability to control the fight and punish his opponent was undeniable. Allen also contrasts past and present fighters, highlighting how Benn's approach in the ring displayed a mix of precision, power, and tactical intelligence. Despite not being a perfect fighter, Benn's performance was decisive and demonstrated that he could compete at a high level and command respect in the sport.
Can't take anything away from it. He lost to a faded Eubank, and then he just beat a shot to bits one. That don't make that. He's not 147. He's not 147 champion elect on the back of that.
No, can he win a world title at 147 now though?
Maybe, but the champions aren't. They're not A-level champions. They're like the B-level champions. Barrios, Crocker, they're very good fighters, but they're not great fighters. But I'm still not sure he'll beat him. I don't think Conor Benn's a fantastic boxer. Nigel Benn, 1990, Nigel Benn would have flattened Chris Eubank Jr. in one round tonight.
Conor Benn highlights that beyond all the fighting and pressure, family remains most important. His words show a maturity and perspective that separates him from others as a fighter. He respects the relationship Chris Eubank Sr. has with his son, but emphasizes that bonds outside the ring matter more than victories or losses. Benn's approach shows emotional intelligence and a focus on priorities beyond sport. Even in the heat of a high-profile victory, he values loyalty and family, demonstrating that success in boxing does not have to come at the expense of relationships and that life outside the ring carries far greater weight.
I'm so happy you turn up. Outside of everything else, outside of all the noise and the promotion and the fight, your relationship with your dad never goes. That's always there. That's long-standing. That's without boxing. You know, what's boxing? You know, because I picked the relationship.
Tony Bellew praises Conor Benn for showing incredible discipline and composure throughout the fight. Despite taking heavy punishment and facing tough rounds, Benn stuck to his strategy and executed it perfectly. His ability to remain calm and follow the game plan, even under pressure, shows a maturity far beyond his years. The commentary highlights that Benn's mental strength and tactical intelligence were key factors in his dominance. Bellew emphasizes that emotion did not cloud his judgment, and that Benn's growth as a fighter means he can rely on strategy and focus to secure victories even against experienced opponents like Chris Eubank Jr.
He took a pounding, round after round after round. The feints, it upset him. The game plan by Tony and Conor. And the most important thing is he keeps to it. He give it everything he had in round 7 and 8, and he landed 2 big hard shots, and he still didn't deter from the game plan. And that shows you a level of maturity. He's grown up, and he's willing to stick to a game plan to win a fight. Emotion is no longer involved. He's got to keep that in his game plan. He's got to keep that in his process going forward. Emotion has its place in a boxing ring, but not with Conor Benn.
Chris Eubank Jr. announcing that he is retiring has shocked everyone, but after this defeat, it seems clear that he wants to step away from boxing and spend time with his twins. Conor Benn's performance showed exactly what focus and discipline mean in the ring, and made Eubank Jr.'s retirement announcement even more striking. This fight wasn't just another match, it became a turning point in Eubank Jr.'s career while Benn displayed complete control and mental strength throughout. The big question now is who can challenge Benn in the future, while Eubank Jr. focuses on family and life outside the ring. Share your thoughts in the comments and join the debate. Do you think Eubank Jr.'s retirement is truly final or just a temporary step back?